And we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and you and you and you and you. I am still all stuffed up, and I'm hoping that in the next 2-3 weeks I get all of these toxins out of my system. For very many of you who have family and friends around the country and you decided to go visit, good for you. For those of you who didn't and decided to stay indoors all day, well, good for you as well. We're hoping that you had a splendid one. We're hoping that amidst all the pain and all the issues and stuff, you still decided to find joy through it all and still decided to be grateful for life. Happy Thanksgiving once again from the Dawn family, from the MBC family. We're grateful for you. We're grateful for your life, and we are happy that we have you and that you've got us as well. My name is Oluwani Shola, and I'm welcoming you. We are welcoming you to Dawn on MBC this beautiful Saturday morning. We have, of course, in-house analysts, political, sports, everything, food, dance. All of that. Prof is here with me as always, and together today we are going to be bringing you news. Of course, on Dawn there's music, there's current affairs, there's headlines, there's interviews and stuff. Jimmy handles that. She's not here yet. I'm sure once she gets here, she'll get the interviews in and stuff. So for now, we're going to just be sharing with you trending issues and topics. For those of you we know that Americans like to work and stuff, so very many of you might not have found time to catching on news over the week. So we are going to be helping you with that. We have a lot from the continent of Africa and from the world all over. Prof.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was a hell of a, well, not a hell, it was a great
It was.
It's been so fruitful.
You had family over?
Yes, I had lots of family and friends over. I mean, we had to do ours on Friday because we gave people a chance to go to other places on
Thursday. All right.
I found it very difficult getting out of bed this morning. But I'm here and I'm ready to
yes, we are.
do some commentary and analysis of what's going on around.
So we're going to be doing all that after this break. P-Square for you there with Bringing On with Dave Scott. We hope you enjoyed that. We're starting off this morning with the usual. As always, it is the tradition for the president to do his annual turkey pardoning ceremony, and he did that on Thursday, Wednesday. I'm not sure what day it was exactly. It was Wednesday. So the girls stepped out. His daughters remain with their dad, looking really beautiful. The first family were at the annual pardoning of the turkey ritual, and President Obama got everyone laughing, as always very witty with his joke. He says, "It's hard to believe that this is my 7th year of pardoning a turkey. Time flies," he says, even if turkeys don't. I found that funny as well.
Well, the beauty about the presidency in America is that with all its traditions, is that, for me, I think for this particular president is to actually have seen his girls grow up in the last 7 years. I mean, the first time they must have done this, they were really little young ladies. I mean, now the first kid is, I think is on her way to college, maybe next year.
That's my
it's really nice to see a man in public and then also watch his kids grow
along with him.
I mean, but other than that, the traditions of the American system is just something to behold. I mean, it's
very beautiful,
done by every president, and every president has a way of
doing the thing. All right, so that's for that, and we are going to Chicago. It is heated. It is sad. I remember Prof had a little conversation about that, and I could sense the angst and stuff, and I know that you have a lot of things to say, but just in case you don't have any idea what it is that I'm talking about, it has been some sort of, I found it quite confusing. I found it confusing because there's this teenager, he was killed last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, his name was 13 months ago. Laquan McDonald, he was killed last year, and it was a little shady. I don't know if I could say inconclusive, and then all of a sudden we are hearing that what happened really isn't what they said happened.
Well, look, let me go through what we know and what is actually on record. Mr. McDonald was shot by a white police officer. Of course,
16 times.
Yes, Mr. McDonald's a black youth. I think he's actually I think he was 17
at the time.
He was shot 16 times by a white police, and it was all captured
on tape,
on video, and which is the police car video cam. But for 13 months, the city and the police department sat on the video and did nothing about it. This white officer was finally charged for first-degree murder, which is perfectly fine. I mean, that's what he needs to be charged with, because, you know, he shot the young man 16 times. When you see the video, the young man was actually walking away from him. He might have proved to be dangerous because I think there was a knife on him, and he had been in some kind of disturbance.
You think?
Well, no, there was actually a knife on him. They said there was a knife on him, you know, and there had been a disturbance. He was on the road and so. But that is not really the issue that bothers me. What bothers me is how the city of Chicago, under the mayor, Rahm Emanuel, would sit on this tape, would sit on all this information for 13 months and do nothing about it. In between the 13 months, the city also paid Mr. McDonald's family $5 million.
Payoff.
Well, that family also sat on this information. It's like as if nobody in the whole of Chicago knew nothing that had happened. I mean, this has turned out to be a mess. Now, what frustrates me today is that the people of Chicago, the black people of Chicago, are protesting. Protests are fine, but I think they're protesting the wrong place. They're protesting the Magnificent Mile, where a lot of people make their living from. That is, you know, you have all the great shops and all that. That's not where they need to protest. They need to go and protest in front of the mayor's office, in front of the mayor's home. Because he is the whole cause of what is happening now. He's in charge of the police department. He's in charge of how information gets out. I mean, Mr. Emanuel is claiming that he saw this tape only a couple of weeks ago. That alone should make him resign. The 16-year-old was shot 16 times. So a 17-year-old was shot 16 times. And you're telling us you've just seen it for the first time. I think it's really unfair how the people of Chicago are being treated under this whole thing. Now, we suspect that the reason this was never released on time was because there was a re-election of Rahm Emanuel and some of his aldermen who are the council members. You know, yes, they all wanted to get re-elected, and this not to be what would be in their way of re-election. It's unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. As at this morning, we understand that protesters, the marched on onto Chicago's luxury corridors during a major shopping holiday. That was yesterday. It was blackout Black Friday. It was indeed crazy. They demanded resignations of the city's top leaders, alleging a year-long cover-up of a police video depicting an officer's killing of teenager Laquan McDonald.
Well, yeah, one more thing I'd like to add, you know, it's unfortunate, but this is really, really sad, because this is also the city that the president comes from. And for the president not to have sent in the federal authorities
to look into the issue.
To look into this issue is really bothersome. I know that Rahm Emanuel was also at one time was actually his first chief of staff when he assumed the presidency. But we shouldn't. I mean, as a group, as a people, we should really be beyond politics when it comes to matters of life and death. There should be no politics in this. Whether you support the president or you support Rahm Emanuel or you support the Democratic Party, this is one thing that we really need to stand for. This killing was brutal. It was on tape, and for 13 months, because of politics, this thing was Saturn. And now they've actually, again, I'm saying, the Jesse Jacksons are protesting the wrong place. It's not. You shouldn't be on the Magnificent Mile. You should be at City Hall and in front of Rahm Emanuel's house. It's as simple as that.
All right, so that's for that. I'm sure that as it unfolds, you will get to hear it from us here at Dawn. That's in case you don't catch the news during the week. So that's for that. In Nigeria, this morning, I just found out that the appeal court has just nullified the election of ex-Senate President David Mark. I found that interesting. I know that is really interesting for Prof as well.
What interests me there is how long these things take. Now, this man has been sworn in and has been in office now, is it 3 months or 4 months?
4 months.
And then all of a sudden they nullified and they call for a re-election. Or re-election, or, you know. Look, to me, now, of course, I haven't read the details, so I really don't know why this is being cancelled. But for whatever reason, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. They either should have thrown him out and replaced him with, you know, someone else. and let's just move on. But to go have a rerun and spend all the money and then probably come back and it's going to be disputed in the law courts and all that.
At the end of the day,
we have to find a way to streamline the problems we have in our elections. I know we'll talk about we're just starting a new system and all that. But 3 months after he's been sitting down and collecting a huge salary. I mean, the salary we all were crying about from 3 months ago. They're still collecting that salary.
They are. So I'm just going to go straight to it again, just a little touch up on it. The appeal court sitting in Makurdi, Benue State has annulled the election of Senator David Mark, representing Benue South in the Senate. The appeal court in its judgment this morning, this morning, ordered the rerun of the election within 90 days. And in a related story, the former Senate President, David Mark, has called on his constituents to remain calm and be law-abiding following the Benue State Election Appeal Tribunal, which ordered the rerun of the South Senatorial elections. So, we're hoping that he wins.
Well, look, I don't know. I don't even know who is contesting.
I don't either.
But to me, it's really about we're doing things that are
the right way.
We're doing the right way, but it's a very slow process. I think we should be able to get these
done
resolved
faster,
a lot faster than what we're doing right now.
Also, still in the news in the Nigerian politics, APC has nominated Yahya Bello as late Prince Aldo's replacement. Late Prince Aldo, we understand, passed on last week after the election came out inconclusive. Yes, and there was some. I don't understand what happened. First, they said that they were going to conduct fresh primaries. Then they said his son was going to be replacing him. Then the deputy, his deputy, said he's supposed to be the governor now. And now APC is saying that they're nominating this man, this fellow you're seeing on your screen, Yahya Bello, as late Prince Aldo's replacement. They nominated him yesterday as the party's new candidate to replace late Aldo for Kogi governorship supplementary poll. He will replace Aldo, who was leading the polls with 41,000, but died suddenly last weekend. And it was also learned that the APC has retained Honorable James Abiodun Faleke as the party's deputy governorship candidate. I don't know how that feels like. You have a man that you were running with, and now someone else is replacing him. Well, do you really think that he should be replaced? Like, I felt, I'm not a political analyst, but I thought that he should step up and then get another replacement as deputy.
Look, this is testing times for the system, really, because this is an unusual situation.
Okay.
That a man dies even before the results are announced or being sworn in. Now, if he had been sworn in and he dies a minute after, the deputy will take over. That is by constitution.
But because he hasn't been sworn in yet,
and the results hadn't even been
come out conclusive,
that, that he was the governor elect.
Okay.
So this is really, and I don't know whether the APC or the system is doing the right thing, but these are things that we have to actually try in the court system and see what the Supreme Court, would because I don't think it's anywhere in our constitution. I've tried very hard to find out, what it says. But
what did you think about replacing him with his son, though?
Well, look, again, you have to look ahead. Everything is about politics. I mean, look, when you replace him with his son, it's really about
it's not
sympathy.
like some traditional...
No, it's about sympathy votes, too. I mean, it has happened here before.
True.
I remember I think it was a senator from Missouri here in America. I think he died during the electionary campaign, and he was replaced by the party, by his wife. And his wife won. She's never been in politics.
Before?
Never been in politics, but they replaced her.
All right, so you didn't
they replaced him with the wife, and she won. And she was able to finish out the term, but she didn't win re-election.
All right, so moving on, we are celebrating and congratulating Fumi Nyonda. She received a honorary fellowship from the University of Cumbria in Europe, in the UK. She's a Nigerian media entrepreneur. Fumi Nyonda received a honorary fellowship from the University of Cumbria in recognition of her significant global contribution to human rights and sustainability. She's the first African woman to receive the award. I used to really watch her on a local TV station back at home, and she's amazing, very intelligent and all that. And congratulations to you, Mrs. Fumi Inyoda. We will be going for a brief break. When we come back, we have more trending issues and stories to share with you on Dawn on MBC this morning. Stay tuned.
We can dream it, we can do it. I'm Sylvester Turner. I went from here in Acres Home to University of Houston and Harvard because my teachers, pastor, and parents stood by me to make dreams a reality. That is why I am never afraid to dream of a better Houston for everyone. With job training, a living wage, community policing, a real partnership with our schools, even filling the potholes. This is Houston. If we can dream it, we can do it.
African Coalition Political Action Committee has endorsed Sylvester Turner for the Mayor of Houston 2015.
MBC this morning. My name is Oluwani Shola, and of course we're happy to have you on board with us. Prof is here with me. We've been analyzing, and he's been giving me all sorts of vocabularies this morning, talking about how the polity has been in Nigeria and all over the world. We're going back to home now. During the week, news came out that some Nigerians were deported. Some news agency reported that there were 500, and then later on they corrected and said that there were 48. But we understand that during the week, some Nigerians were deported from the UK back to Lagos, and some back to Ghana. At some point before they were actually deported, two activists actually glued themselves to the gates just to prevent them from going through and stuff. But eventually, it did happen. I saw some pictures actually, and it was quite saddening.
Well, look, anytime things like that do happen, it's saddening and all that. But for us to have almost a complete, the numbers are so wrong.
Yeah.
500 to 48.
To 48. And then we hear that there's still going to be another 25,000 in the long run.
Yeah, look,
deported. Is that even right?
Well, look.
Is it normal?
Deportation. Look, when we talk about immigration and deportation,
they have families there.
Look, one thing I always say is that, Nigerians, we get very emotional about it.
Oh. But I am right now.
But here is the truth. We also once deported close to 2 million Ghanaians from Nigeria. Let's not
Ghana must go.
Ghana must go. That's where it came from. It was a sad experience. A lot of Ghanaians that experienced that would, probably not forget or forgive Nigeria
for doing that.
But it is, it's what countries do. It's within their boundaries to be able to do and decide who stays in their country. But again, it's really always very emotional because just like you said, a lot of people have family ties and business and financial ties to that community. But in most cases, those that are always deported on the long run are those that have just not broken the laws of immigration, but also other issues.
Like illegal stay permits. We understand that some of the reasons why they were deported was because some of them had illegal stay permits. When one of them was interviewed, he said that he was just arrested by the British police, and he was not even allowed to take his belongings. Nothing.
Well, yeah, they don't allow you to take your belongings. They're not going to help you ship your stuff back home. They're not going to do that, Oh,
my goodness.
They almost take you as you are, So, It's, look, like you just said, it's a sad thing. It's not. I don't think it's a very pleasant experience.
It isn't.
Even though you're going back home, but that you did plan for it. You know, it's not something. You
and
say,
some of them have been there for 10 years.
I can. I'm sure some of them more than
10 years.
Yeah, more than.
Oh my!
But,
all right,
hey,
that's that.
Stuff happens. Yeah.
Stuff happens. It does happen. The Pope has been touring Africa. He started during the week. He started with Kenya and is now in Uganda. He actually got into Uganda yesterday. He's been touring Africa. He departed Kenya during the week, and after he was in Kenya for 3 days. He visited some slums in Kenya, lashed out at the elites. He honored some Christians who were burnt alive because of their beliefs in Christianity. He called for compassion towards the poor in Africa. He urged the Kenyans to end tribalism and corruption. And you know, after his 3-day visit, he's now in Uganda. He arrived yesterday, actually, and he held a mass afterwards. So we're hoping. I really doubt it, but I hope he goes to Nigeria. Do you think he will visit Nigeria?
Well, I don't think it's on his itinerary this time around.
I don't think so,
but
too.
I'm hoping that
people have been asking, when is he touching down
well, look,
Nigeria?
I happen to belong to the flock of the Pope, being Catholic.
Okay.
But this Pope, for me, has been very political. You know, he seems to talk a lot more than other popes before his time, which is fine. There's nothing wrong. You know, these are the times in which we live in. I think he's trying to be up to date with what goes on. You know, so and there's
I like
a lot
that
of,
about him as well.
Yeah, and a lot of politics going on in the world today. Things people.
He just wants to be a part of it.
And you know, but going to Nigeria, I wish him luck.
What's that supposed to mean? anyways, that's for that for Pope Francis. We are going to share one more story before we go for another break. During the week as well, a British woman was conned out of £1.6 million by a Nigerian fraudster she met on an online dating site. A West London woman was tricked into transferring a large sum of money to a Nigerian gang of fraudsters after one of them told her he loved her. Ifeojo, 31, and Olusegun Agbaje, 43, were due to be sentenced on Friday, November 27th, that was yesterday, in connection with the scam in which the woman, who is in her 40s, handed over increasingly large sums of money to the man and his associates over a period of 10 months last year. Ojo claimed to be studying at the Lagos School of Business and Finance, and Agbaje, an NHS admin assistant at Essex. They both pleaded guilty to conspiracy, though.
Oh, damn! Look, I'll never understand. I will never understand that. You know, the shipping of money all in the. I know one thing they say, that love is blind. But look, love has really become very stupid also. You know, how these people, because she's not the first person, how these people continue to do this, you know, and get money.
And how? What did they say?
I mean, look, Western Union is full of this kind of money being shipped from Australia, from England, from America to people you have never met, and just because they tell, I mean, I don't know how isolated these ladies are. That, you know, the slightest word of love, I mean, makes them bring out their checkbook and, you know, write
and just sign away.
I mean, look, if this happened
10 months,
if this happened constantly in Nigeria, because of who we are, we'll say this is not a common eye. It's not clear eye.
It's juju.
Yes, you know, but this is to a woman that is in England,
and it's Leonard, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, it's unfortunate, but you know, it's, to me, it's actually very funny that these things happen, because there's I guess there's a need to be loved, and you know, on the long run,
to pay for them,
you buy it.
All right. On that funny note, I will go straight to this. It's a very short one from the legend. We call him legend back at home in Nigeria. Two-Face Idibia. He was coronated sometime during the week as well in Kaduna. He was honored with the chieftaincy title Tafinda Kudenda. which means Ambassador for Peace, by HRH Bagudu Galadima of the Kudenda Kingdom at Kudenda Palace in Kaduna State on the 24th of November. So I guess that it is apt for us to play something from Two-Face Idibia. Do you know Two-Face Idibia?
I've heard about him, but I haven't heard about the caliphate or the what do we call it again now? The group of people that have given him a title.
A title, yeah.
I mean, I'm a history.
Is it tribe?
I'm a history major from Nigeria, and I'm trying to think hard.
Of who they are?
Yeah, where did that come from? But again, he's gotten a title.
Yes,
good for him.
Ambassador for Peace. Two-Face Idibia will be going on a musical break now. Yeah, good music. A legend in his right, in himself. All right, so there it is. What's the title of the song? Only Me by Two-Face Idibia. We'll be right back, people. Now in some Kudenda clan or village or some place, but we appreciate him and congratulations. All right, so we're going to the Senate, where Nigerians have been reacting. There was a lot. I had a field day on Twitter during the week. They reacted to the commissioning because the Senate commissioned a suggestion box. I don't know. I feel like we're in 1991 back again, or 1966. Very many Nigerians reacted to the commissioning of the suggestion box by the Senate. President Bukola Saraki at the National Assembly on the 24th of November. I thought it was a backward move. I still think it's a backward move. We're in the 21st century, for crying out loud. They have the ribbons. You can see that. And it was joined by other senators to launch a box. My question is it really even going to be useful for Nigerians? I can't walk into that place and drop a box or a letter. How am I going to get the letter across, though?
No, look, this is one of those things. I think
the staff in there says that even sometimes with his badge, he finds it difficult getting through.
The first thing I want to know is that how much did this cost us?
Please don't ask that. I don't have any idea.
This has to be one of those deals that someone comes up with and says, let me give it to my brother.
It's going to cost us some 5 million.
Because this is so stupid. In 2016, where
there's social media, you can have as much information as you can.
We're a month away into 2016, and we're having a suggestion box where people would actually write a letter and go place it in a suggestion box.
From who?
And
how? From Lagos to Abuja? Am I going to travel down to drop that?
From to Abuja, from Calabar to Abuja to complain or to make a suggestion to our senators.
I don't know whoever came up with that. I don't understand.
There are times that the more these people behave this way, the more I start to really see the need for us to have a part-time legislature. It's time we really thought about that, because it doesn't seem as if we have enough work for them to do.
This
was really irresponsible.
Very, very irresponsible.
This was really irresponsible.
Very irresponsible.
I mean, to have a ribbon cutting ceremony over a suggestion
for 3 boxes? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 3 boxes.
And they're all there.
How many letters can they contain? It's not like we're in the bank.
I mean,
when you want to drop your pink or yellow
there should have been one senator there that should have said, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to be part of this nonsense. And they're all there. Now, here's what I always say at times. They all can't be wrong. I always want to believe that. But this is not something we should be talking about in 2000. We're a month away from 2016. And the Nigerian Senate is launching a suggestion box. and having a ribbon cutting ceremony.
It's to that effect.
To that effect.
You know what?
This is.
We would like to have your thoughts on that, people.
Please,
you can tweet at,
this is one of those things.
You can tweet at Nishola01 on Twitter. You can tweet at MBC TV Houston. Let's have your thoughts on that issue. It was hilarious. It was really, really hilarious. But we're moving over from that to Zimbabwe, where the First Lady, Grace Mugabe, faced some backlash during the week after a shocking comment. I found it very insulting as well. She was addressing thousands of ZANU-PF supporters at a rally in Berengwa this week, during the week. And she said that women who wear mini skirts, they have no other people, no one to blame but themselves if they're raped by sexual perverts.
Hey, look, if you use the word perverts, rape and miniskirts, I mean, it says where her thinking is. A pervert, you know, it's already, you know, it's a criminal behavior. I mean, and then it doesn't matter what they wear. A sexual pervert, even if the way she's dressed, all covered up and all that, a pervert wants to go after you, will go after you.
Yeah.
Now, to blame miniskirt, which is one of the finest things that a woman can put on, you know, behaviors that men or bad men would commit, you know, I think it's time that, you know, the African continent and those of us of the black race, you know, start to really think ahead, you know. What a woman puts on, you know, should be of little concern.
To you?
To us.
She's doing it for herself.
Yes. I mean, look, there's still levels of decency and indecency. That we all understand. But a mini skirt should not be...
Like, how can you say that? If you walk around wearing mini skirts, displaying your thighs and inviting men to drool over you, you are inviting them to rape you. You shouldn't complain if they rape you. Who says that? She's a mother.
No, she went too far with that statement, and I hope at some time she can withdraw it and say, look, hey, I got carried away because, you know, I don't think this is not something you want to put out there. That women should dress in a certain way. Yeah.
I found it really daft.
Unfortunately, but that's what we get a lot of that.
Really daft. Okay, we're going to Gambia, where finally they have introduced a ban on a female genital mutilation, FGM, which comes into effect immediately. It came into effect from Tuesday, I think. The country's leader, President Yahya Jammeh, made a public proclamation outlawing the ancient practice. Do they still do this? I didn't even think that this would... I thought they would have banned this like 10 years ago.
Well, unfortunately, they still do. I mean, I did a project with the World Health Organization about over 20 years ago that I visited some kind of... I went to some villages, I think, they were mostly in Cross River State. And then these young girls, I mean, for whatever reason, had been mutilated and things happened to them and they were being cared for by some white foreigners, you know, who were here, you know, trying to stop it. And this was way back, I think, about 25 years ago.
I would never understand the idea behind it. I would never understand it. Because women who have had this done to them, who are older now, they've not lived a very good life. Intimacy wise, being a woman and owning yourself.
I don't understand who came up with it.
I don't understand it either.
It's something that really needs to be stopped and stopped.
Eradicated completely.
Yeah.
All right, so that's for that. And we're going back to China, where the first ever womb transplant happened during the week. Groundbreaking. A mother actually donated a uterus to her daughter, and history was made in China on the 20th of November during the week again, as the country's first womb transplant was carried out successfully on a 22-year-old woman with a uterus donated by her mother. So according to a statement by Xinjiang Hospital, which is affiliated with the 4th Military Medical University, the transplant organ had been accepted by the recipient and she was recovering well after the successful surgery. The recipient, Yang Hua, from northwest China's province, never experienced any menstrual cycle, menstruation like other girls, and in 2013, a diagnosis, an ultrasound image showed that she was congenitally absent over uterus and a vagina?
Look, modern day science can almost do anything.
Simply put.
I mean, they've transplanted a head or face recently.
Recently.
So look, they can do anything.
Anything at all.
One of the things I have come to believe that, you know, someday we're already living long enough, at least because of science and its and medicine
and discoveries and stuff.
Yeah, one day we're going to really be living long. Even though, look, I always say, look, I don't know whether you know, living extremely long is good for us as a world, but,
as a race.
Yeah, you know, but you know, that's the goal, because now. There's almost no discomfort in anything anymore. They'll find a way, you know, to help you recover, and that's good.
We're happy because she wanted to have her own baby, and they found a way out for her. All right, so that's going to be that. We are going to go for another commercial break now. When we come back, we will share, you know, what we have left, and then call it a day. Stick around.
In Houston, if we can dream it, we can do it. I'm Sylvester Turner. I went from here in Acres Home to University of Houston and Harvard because my teachers, pastor, and parents stood by me to make dreams a reality. That is why I am never afraid to dream of a better Houston for everyone, with job training, a living wage, community policing, a real partnership with our schools, even filling the potholes. This is Houston. If we can dream it, we can do it.
African Coalition Political Action Committee has endorsed Sylvester Turner for the Mayor of Houston 2015.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
All right, welcome back. Still done on MBC this morning. My name is Oluwanishola, and we're still going back to the home front. Our President Muhammadu Buhari visited Tehran during the week and addressed the Nigerian community there. So many people had some remarks about all the things that he's been saying. He's been traveling a lot. So many things he's been doing, especially the remarks about what's been happening in the country. Prof.
Well, yeah. In Tehran, he addressed the Nigerian community, and there was one thing that stood out. And what stood out was that he continues to say, and his surrogates also continue to say that, that there are a lot of Nigerians who stole our money and are returning this money privately.
Nobody has seen the money. Nobody knows who has done that.
After that was, reported, there was a great piece written by one Miss Abimbola Adelakun.
Oh, okay.
I think she probably has a doctorate now, but she's at the University of Texas in Austin.
Oh, okay.
And it was published in the Punch. I think it's probably anybody that has a chance to go get it. It was published in the Punch, I think, on Friday by Abimbola Adelakun. She wrote about this and wrote about Buhari. I don't think she's an opponent of Buhari or in support of anybody. But she actually said what I would say what was something on my mind. Look, if people are returning money supposedly stolen from our common purse, why will the president not arrest them or not tell us who
they are,
and
how much they've returned.
I don't believe anybody's returning money because no, Nigerians are not going to return any money. They rather die than return the money. But that aside, he says they're returning money. And I'm hoping that this is not what is going to give him a black eye. Because if these things are meant to put him into good stead by saying that it is his body language that is making people return money. I mean, look, that is some body language. You know, that people are returning, you know, supposedly millions of dollars. It's interesting that that is the tactic that this administration wants to take about fighting corruption. Because I have said it on this program very, very early. Fighting corruption is about the rules you play the game with. Nigeria has always had very weak rules that are not strong enough to tackle corruption. And they're not doing that. They're not setting up good rules to play the game. All we're hearing is about people are returning money, or someone told us someone has $6 billion in an account and all that. Look, those things, anybody that knows about big finance know that it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to have $6 billion in a personal account. I mean, whoever runs that bank or whoever is in charge of that account will be fired. You know, you just don't place money just like that. But only in Nigeria can we hear such great stories from my own governor of Edo State saying that, you know, someone told them that someone stole, I mean, had $6 billion and all that. But the president had better be very careful on how he talks about this issue, because at some time we're all really going to ask for proof. Because I don't care if they're returning the money, I want to know who returned it, and I want to know how much they returned and why they are not in jail. It's as simple as that.
All right, so while we wait for these answers, we will end the program today on this very funny note. So this man, this dad demands an abortion after surrogate learns that she's having triplets. He paid a surrogate to have his baby, and he became overwhelmed when he learned that she will be having triplets, and demanded the woman abort one of the fetuses while threatening her with financial ruins, she claims.
Look.
Is this right?
Look, it's one of those.
You ask for one, you get three. Aren't you supposed to be happy?
You ask for one, you get three. But this is what science has done. Let's go back to the science that you know, as good as it is. You know, there's some moral issues on this, you know. Like you said, ask for one, you get three. He can't finance three down the road.
So that's why he wants one.
That's what he wants.
But is it possible for him to abort one and leave two? Or you don't know how that works?
I mean, we're about to would have told the doctor to call. I have no clue what would happen. But unfortunately for him, that's the issue he's having to deal with. It's about taking care of that child down the road. I mean,
and that's really very important.
It's important. Good family planning is very important.
All right, so that's going to be about it for us today on Dawn on NBC. Thank you so much for staying and sticking with the family. We appreciate you. Once again, happy Thanksgiving. I hope that, you know, amidst all of it, you find reasons to really still be thankful. Don't forget, you can tweet at us, PJ Osage at Mishala01 on Twitter, at MBC TV Houston, and also like our Facebook page. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Dawn on NBC. It has been an amazing time with you, and God's willing, next week we will be here to share with you much more interesting and trending issues and stories. Don't forget that we should be your bets, okay? Just in case you don't get any news, we will be giving you as much information as we can. Prof, say your goodbyes.
Yes, thanks for joining us again. Like she said, go to our Facebook page and really like us. We'd appreciate that. And I think we upload these programs by Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning. So you can watch
channel.
Yes, past episodes as well.
I mean, have a good rest of the weekend, long Thanksgiving weekend. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.